everyone. I'll bet you were wondering where I was. Yes, I know I'm a few minutes late. Um, I was in the wrong group. Okay, so hi everyone, Swanda here. I apologize for being late. Um, we were testing some equipment, and when I was testing that equipment, I thought I was in this group to start off with, but I was in another group, so I apologize for my late arrival. Yeah, what the heck, you can't, if you can't have fun doing it, don't do it. Um, so anyway, um, the reason that today must be kind of a turmoil, I don't know if the rest of you are feeling it, but I was up at 1:30. The energy seemed really unsettled last night. It was very intense, very staticky. That's the word I'm looking for. So I hope all of you had a much better night than I did. Today I wanted to talk about candle work. When I started practicing and studying metaphysics, I was young. I was like 14 when I started picking up books and reading and trying to figure out what I was doing and how I was doing it. So different things came different ways, and I know everybody has their own way of doing candle work. So I wanted to share a little bit of the information that I have been working with candles for years with to do and to experience. First off, whenever you're doing candle work, you want to come to it with the highest degree of intention and integrity. If your intention has, kind of a get even, get back at someone energy, don't do the candle work. It will backfire. It can create havoc. So your intention and your integrity has to be for developing the work to use it for your highest and best good. Some of the ways of using candle work is through studying auras. You can actually learn to see auras doing candle work. You need a small taper. You'll put it on, now this is a beeswax candle. And the beeswax candles are very good about being smokeless. They're pretty expensive, but you're going to want to use a good quality candle like beeswax when doing auric analysis. You want to hang something behind you or behind the person that you're working with that's black. You want to shut off all the lights. Put the candle on a plate behind them so it literally lights up their auric field. And you just sit and stare at it and you gaze at it. So get some beeswax candles. You can get these on Amazon. I like the small beeswax for that work. I also like them for candle gazing. Let's go back to auric analysis first. When you start working with somebody, you want to be really consistent. So you want to have the same person who will be willing to sit there for 15-20 minutes without moving, just where they can kind of sit and let you see their field. You'll start to see if you can develop this gift, and it takes some time, so don't be discouraged. You're not going to see it in a week. Some of you might. Most of you, it'll take a lot longer. You want to see if there's any symbols in their auric field. You want to see if there's colors, what you're seeing is shifting. There's a lot of information about auric analysis. Now, back in the day when we didn't have all the electrical wires above, below, and on the sides of us, with all the noise pollution, carcinogens in the air, all the different things that are intense, clogging our view, if you will, we were seeing auras a lot more clearly. So the word yellow belly actually was a term because they would see that was the third chakra that was emitting that yellow streaked fear factor, and that would give people an idea about what kind of person, what they were experiencing. Now, if they always had a streaked belly, they might have anxiety, they might have constantly being fearful, but in those days it was a cowardly person. Now I hope we're not as judgmental, but those are the things that auric analysis can do for us. We can help people by smoothing out their energy as healers. We can help them when they're, being in a blue mood, that blue, murky, dark energy, depression. And those are the things that our emotions will change. Now, this is one of my SWANDA moments. I'm going to upset people sometimes, and I apologize in advance for that, but I want you to think about it. Let's say you go and have your chakras balanced. Spent $75. You feel great. You come out, you're thriving with that energy. You're doing really good. And you get outside, get in the car, and you go, oh my God, I forgot to turn off the pot roast, and it's probably burning the house down. Well, your emotions go all kinds of wonky, and that's going to disrupt the balanced chakras. So understand that auric analysis, you can start focusing and changing through intention. If somebody were to tell you, wow, you really have some purple going on, you can really take advantage of that. If it's a clear purple, you know that you're in the highest of vibration. You're really on your spiritual path and doing good. So you can take good time to do a deep meditation, to really connect. But if you're having that fear factor going on, like so many people have been lately, then you're going to see it as all streaked and murky, and it's going to feel sluggish, and it'll have a direct effect. So remember that as your third chakra is tied to your pancreas, it can kick off diabetes, it can mess with your blood sugars, pancreatitis, it can have all kinds of ramifications. So auric analysis is a really good thing for us all to start developing again. Remember, you want to use a beeswax candle, put it behind somebody with a black sheet behind them so that it's in a darkened room and all you're getting is their outline. You can also put it between their feet and you sit at their head, so if it's got to be kind of even with them. So if you put them on a massage table, use a stool out there between their feet, put the candle, and just sit at their head and watch that energy. It's real easy to do, really beneficial to do. Another good avenue for candle work is candle gazing. People say, well, what does candle gazing have to do? Well, in truth, we know that meditation really gets us in touch with our higher self. It connects us with our spirit team, and it brings us to a higher level of awareness. So using the same beeswax candle, just set it in front of you about 6 feet and watch the outer side of the flame. Okay, just here's the flame, and just watch what's happening around it. You'll see that blue haze. Some people start to see symbols. They see prophecy in the candle work. And some people, it's just to bring us into focus. Meditation is best served when you can shut off all other outside white noise, music, water fountains, birds chirping, any of that. That's just to keep the monkey mind, but it's really a lot better using a candle. If you gaze and you just focus, it will allow you to go into a deep trance-like state once you get used to that, so that you can hear your spirit team a lot more clearly, a lot better, and form those deeper connections. You can take yourself down deep and breathe through it. Having all the other noise around you, all that's doing is distracting you from listening to your higher self and to your spirit team. So think about doing some candle gazing. Do about 15 minutes, my suggestion, 3 times a week. It has a lot of benefits, especially now when we're struggling with so much chaos going on outside. Next, we have the tea lights. Tea lights can be used to diffuse oils. Tea lights can be used for a quick prayer or meditation. Tea lights have a lot of beneficial use, and they don't, you're not too worried to let it burn for the 15 minutes that it takes usually for these to go out, or even 30 minutes if you have a really good tea light. These here are votives. The votives are really good with prayer rituals for the 1 and 3 day rituals, okay? Again, you want a good quality candle. So I will tell you that getting a good quality candle, you don't want to go just anywhere. I get my candles at Blue Eagle. I love Blue Eagle. I spend a little more, but I get better quality, and as a result of my candle work, I get better results. Here's the 7-day votives. These are great for 7 and 13-day rituals. They're absolutely marvelous. If you get them at Albertsons or some of the other stores, dollar store, they're going to be smaller than the normal sized votive. So you can buy them in many colors. I will tell you that each color, we're going to get into a little bit on the colors and what they can be used for. But white, if nothing else, if you don't have a blue candle or red candle to do the work that you want to do on that regard, for that work, getting a white one, because white has all the colors in it. This is the way I was taught, and it's worked out really well. You can also put a white candle on top of a blue paper for your intentions, or whatever prayer you're saying to do your ritual with. You can use the color. You can also wrap the cellophane, or in some cases, some people have different color vases. They just pop the white candles in, so it gives off the blue light. I'm not sure if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I know I do it when I do my classes. I have a white candle in a purple vase. Purple is the highest of spiritual colors, highest of vibration. This is why your royalty had purple crowns and robes. Their colors were purple, is because prior to them becoming these families that held control and the wars that started, the kings and queens were often the most intuitive healers, psychics, and mediums. They were the most gifted. And it wasn't that they followed family lineage, although I will say that it often did have the lineage if they had the gifts. Not everybody that incarnates gets the parents' gifts, and sometimes the parents don't have apparent gifts, but when you incarnate to them, you manifest these incredible gifts. So back many years, centuries ago, it was predicated on who was the most gifted. And they led the community through spiritual understanding and healing, spiritual connection, because it's what we're here for, is to get back to where we originally came from, to get that knowledge back of the truth of who we are. So again, Blue Eagle, great candles. Now I want to talk a little bit about moon cycles. When we're writing our intentions, when we're writing the rituals, if you said, I want my friend Mary to have the highest degree of healing, you want to say that statement, I'm asked that Mary be brought to a miraculous healing. You want to say that when it's on the waxing moon, so it grows bigger. So if it's on the waning moon, you would say something more like, I hope her illness goes away. I pray that her illness goes away. Let's leave hope and wants out of it, and just put it more positive affirmation into her illness is dissipating rapidly. And you light your candle. So you want to make sure that your phrases, according to the moon cycle, are written to help with the moon energy going as big and as powerful as it can. Now, I will tell you that I don't know if, I can't see you guys. So, if you're going to do a candle ritual, okay, you're going to light a candle, you've got a friend in mind. Have you ever gone to somebody and they've dressed the candle? What that generally means is they've done some prayers with it, they've done some blessings, trying to work it into a really high frequency. Now, I've had this happen to myself. They put together they put some herbs in it, they drill a little hole in it, they put some essential oils in it, they're doing the candle work, and they said, you know, put a little thing around the top, they've carved my initials into it, they wrap a cellophane, put a rubber band, sent me home, and said light the candle, and when the candle's done burning, bring it back. Well, ever the curious cat that I am, I did it. And the candle, when it got down here to the base, the whole thing was black, horribly black. And I asked her, I says, well, gee, what's going on here? And she said, oh, the candle work didn't work. Well, I knew it did, because it's about my intentions. It had nothing to do with anything else. But she said, you have to redo it because it's black. It's the smoke. I said, you don't think the smoke had something to do with the herbs you put in it or the essential oils you dropped in there? And she wasn't real happy, because it dawned on her that she had been taught that you could read the candle, and you can read candles. I'm not saying you can't. You can read the way the candle melts down. If you take a candle like this and you're doing a prayer for a certain intention and you're doing a meditation, you can read through for the answer yourself. But if somebody has stuck oil in there and herbs in there, it's going to be smoky. So it has nothing to do with whether or not your candle actually worked or not. It has to do with the fact that they stuck oil and herbs in there, and that's logical. So understand that it's much better if you're doing your candle work that you take the candle and you do a meditation with your candle, and that you ask the candle do its work for the highest and best interest of the intention. And because you're holding it, you're putting your vibration in it. So you don't have to make your name in there. You don't have to date it. You don't have to put the date of birth of the person you're praying for in it. It's vibration. You have to learn. Now we're at a time that we have to learn to trust ourselves. And by trusting ourselves, that means understanding that a lot of this extra steps that were taken back in the 50s and 60s, because the vibration was a little slower, is not as necessary as it is today. I mean, it was more necessary probably back then. Excuse me, I misspoke. In today's day and age, you have the power. So use your power for intention, use your power for integrity, and use your power to empower your candle. When we do a one-day ritual, oftentimes I'm going to get my papers out, because, you know, I'm old and I want to make sure that I give you everything as best as I can with it. When you're doing the one-day ritual and the three-day ritual, you're going to be, it's more like a devotion, okay? So it's best to use the small vigil candles that will, you know, they'll last. If you put them in a holder, don't just put them on a plate, because with a plate they'll just drop down. But put them in a holder. You will, it's a prayer for, let's say, somebody you know is going through a surgery, somebody you know is going through some really tough times, a divorce, maybe somebody needs some help in court because, you know, they got a speeding ticket they can't afford. Any of the things that you're trying to accomplish, put it in. If you're doing the 1 day or the 3 day, put it in a holder, and these will generally last, they say 24 hours, but I'm going to tell you they probably last 12 to 18 hours. And that's okay too, because that's on the other side of 24. So they're best for healing on a specific situation, for a specific person. Now the 7-day rituals, 7 is the number of men. You want to use these big guns. And remember that men being a 7, we have 7 chakras, 7 C's, 7 nodes to the scale, 7 churches, 7 wonders of the world, 7 disciplines, 7 continents, the 7 holy virtues, the 7 deadly sins. We have 7, 7, 7. So when using the 7 ritual, this really helps us break through some stuff. So let's say you really are trying to step up your healing for relationships or for money, because money is a relationship too, and so you do a ritual. So you would write 7 papers that say the exact same thing, put them under the 7 candles. The first one becomes your master candle. So you write it, you read what you're asking for. Remember, 7, if you're doing the moon cycles, if it's getting bigger, if it's on the waxing moon going to the full moon, you want to make it where things get bigger. If it's on the waning, you want to word it so it's releasing the negative. So you write the 7, and you put it under. And for that kind of stuff, you want to be really careful. So you don't want to say, I want to make more money, because $5 is more money. So you want to be a little bit more specific. Or maybe you don't want to even ask for the money, but the end result, I want to heal my issue of being a good steward of money. Now remember that what's that? Oh, what's the question? Hang on, guys. Yes. The question is do we have to ask permission when we do work on behalf of others? I always do. There are some people I know I can take advantage of and say, I'm going to say a prayer for you, and they're like, cool, that's fine. If somebody came to me and asked me to do healing work for their husband, I would have them make sure it was okay with the spouse. I would make sure that they were clear, because you want to make sure that and understand this. Sometimes when doing healing work, what we think is healing may result in a surgery and sometimes death. So healing is for that person. And you have to be clear that when you're doing candle work for someone on behalf of someone else, that they understand, and so does the person, that the outcome is created with the intention of the highest and best interest for the person you're doing the candle work for. So if somebody came to me and said, my child has COVID, they're the guardian of the child, and I would definitely do the candle work with them, understanding that sometimes it's releasing the child from this plane of existence. Sometimes that's the healing. And that's a tough one for us to acknowledge. So yes, for that purpose, on the very basic level, that purpose alone, always get permission. Does that answer your question? Okay, so we're going to think that answered the question. Okay, so when we do this 7-day ritual, you're going to have to pick a time to light the candles at the same time every day. So don't plan on lighting it if you're going to be at work you started on a Monday, and Tuesday night or Tuesday, you have to be at work at the time you start the ritual on Monday. You have to be home at the same time just about every day. Give or take 5 minutes. It's not going to kill you there, but it will make an effect change because you're building power for your candle work. So you do it at the same time every day for 7 days. Now when you light it, this is your master, and you get the same color. I'm just using this as an example. When you light from this candle to this candle, you take this candle, you light this candle first. The next night you take from here to here. I usually do it with incense to do a prayer about that, but I carry it over. If this candle goes out, the second candle becomes my master candle, and I light from the master candles. On the 7th day, you want to burn all the slips of paper. The 13-day ritual are conducted quite differently than the 1 day, 3 day, and 7 day. I've done it with the bigger candles, but you'll use these because 2 copies of the prayer are done. So you have 13 of these bad boys. You seal the one with the wax from the first candle, and you read from the other each day, and you move the paper down for each new candle you light. And at the end of the 7 days or 13 days, when you light the 13th candle, just like with the 7 day and the 3 day and the 1 day, you burn the intention and just dissipate it and send it back to the etheric. Now, there's a lot of information on colors, and I'm just going to go briefly through it because this can get some really intense, it can get really convoluted. I don't want to overload your brains. I'm going to give you some concepts here. Black candles are not satanic, okay? Black is the absence of color. It's the alpha and the omega, okay? It's the beginning and the end. The color contains all and everything, and yet black is the absence. So remember that it has no color, but it contains everything, every ounce of energy in there. It is the color of initiation into the higher planes of spirit. So if I was going to do a candle ritual asking for, if I was trying to work with my occult teachers, not cult, occult, very high spirit teachers, my master teacher, I would do a candle in black, and I would do it for the intention of connection. Black is also the candle that you would use when you're letting someone go who's transitioned, and that you ask that they receive peace and comfort and guidance, because sometimes we can die and get trapped to the earth plane, and that's not what you want to have your loved one do. So you can use it for releasing somebody into spirit, asking their spirit team, their loved ones to come in and help them transition. The best day to start a black candle prayer is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And so you can do candle for those 2 things with black candles. Brown candles are, represent physical and personal magnetism. And if you notice, attorneys wear brown. It's because it's the color of law. And remember, law could also be a big balancing of karma. So it can be either or. Like dark brown can represent karmic balance. The light browns can be of higher awareness for legal matters and dealing with some of the different things that may deal with legalities, things that you need clarity on. You can use a brown candle. The best days for those candles are Sunday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now, gold candles and silver candles, I'm going to show you this little bad boy. I get these at Blue Eagle too. This is the silver candle. Silver to me And I'm sure there are so many people who it means something different to, but to me it's psychic development. Gold is the second highest vibration of color, and to me it's about bringing things in from a past life. So if I wanted to do something to develop my intuition, my intuitive skills, or I'm working on something, I'm trying to break through a wall, maybe I'm trying to go deeper into trance, something, I would use a silver and a gold candle. And I would do a meditation with those and let these burn down. Now I will tell you that there is, I don't know if you guys can see this, they're painted, okay? And that's okay. The intention is the silver, and it has a great benefit for bringing in that psychic intuition skills. Remember, every medium is a psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. So, if you want your skills to get better and deeper, do some candle work with silver and gold. So gold is, the best days to start those are on Tuesdays and Sundays. Gold is also associated with safety and good fortune, okay? Green is the color of monetary prosperity and worldly gain, material goods on earth, okay? And it's also used for healing. So a lighter green candle has the more healing aspect, the darker green candle more of the material plane of existence. Those days to start, Monday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Orange is physical vitality. You should light a candle if you're praying for somebody that has some health challenges right now. Use an orange candle. Address it there, because it will also help with their mind expansion and building their prana. Remember, without prana, we're kind of out of luck. So prana is a really good healer for illness. When we're sick, our emotions suffer, our mental emotions are challenged, our physical body hurts, but we still need prana. And sometimes it's really important that you get that going, especially if you're having problems with breath. That chi can really be built up. Pink is good for personal desires and achievements. The brighter and lighter the shades of pink, you can use that in your wardrobe as well, is going to be more effective for health too. So it's not just personal achievements and desires, but also for in the pink of health. So if you get a strong pink, you can use it for your own worldly goods or both. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are really good days with that. Purple. Oh, this is the highly esteemed by those who wish to unfold spiritually. When you are in your highest vibration, when everything is going good, when you have your pretty panties on, and I don't say that loosely, I tell people all the time, when you're not feeling good, put a dress on, or put something that jingles on, or put that nice crisp shirt on, iron your jeans, whatever it takes to make you feel better, because it'll change your vibration. It'll help bring you healing, but it also helps raise your spiritual connection. The higher your vibration, the more you're going to connect to spirit. So on those, prayer to be used for highest awareness, I don't often go to the Bible, but the 134th Psalm is really good for raising your consciousness for spiritual awareness. The best days to start a purple novena are Wednesdays and Fridays. Red, of course, we all know that red is so much. It's various shades of red. It deals with releasing anger. It deals with building up your cardiovascular system. It has to do with universal love, not just relationships. We just assume that. But remember that blood is our vital life force, that we get oxygen, nutrients pushing through our body. So we really need to push that. And red is really good for that. And the prayer to be used, there's so many prayers that you can say, but whatever you do, when you work with red, let it come from your heart. Because you write the best possible prayer for you, because when you let it come from your heart, it has the power of your emotion attached to it. Best days for that is any day of the week. There is never a better day than another to start anything that has to do with of the heart rituals. White is purity, faith, and strength, and the power are the attributes of white. Remember, the pure white is rarely found on this earth plane unless it's the light of our chakras. Remember, white is the color of all colors, so all 7 chakras light up and you explode that beautiful white light. Remember that the crown chakras, when they're active, that creates the halo. You are the angels. That's when they were doing aura analysis back in the day when they didn't have this, going back to what we talked about earlier. When we have that going on, when you have your 7th chakra lit and active, you get the halo. You have that connection to the higher self, to the higher consciousness, to the great spirit. And when you have that connection, you are the angel. Don't worry about all the other angels, but also remember that when you transition, you become the angels that people see. But generally it was termed as a very enlightened being. That's why Jesus had the crown of thorns put on his head, was to shut his crown chakras down. It wasn't because they were mocking him for the King of Jews. That's just the way they explained it in the Bible. They were trying to stop his connection because he was so gifted. Now, with white, you want to do those novenas on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Yellow is intellectual power, mental activity, and spiritual development. If you've been feeling like me, where you just are like, ugh, I'm up against the wall, I'm done, I've had it, I just need to shut down, yellow candles are really awesome because they help release all that head talking. Like I said, I was up at 1:30 this morning, and it wasn't the head talking, it was just the static energy. So that woke me up, but the head talking took over. So lighting a yellow candle, even if it's a yellow beeswax, this can be gold or yellow, even if it's just someone this small. I get a lot of these. I have a whole stockpile at my house because I will light that for that one purpose for the 15 minutes it takes to bring clarity to me for the different reasons. But if you're going to do the novenas, the Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday are the best days to start those novenas. Now, if you use, going back to, if you're doing it on the 1 and 3 and 13 day and using these small guys, you can get different colored candle holders. So those will also help designate with a white votive. And don't use the perfumey ones. Those are never good for anybody. They're smoky, they're low vibrating candles, and there's some really intense things going on with that. There's a lot of candle work classes and things that you can do, so think about it. Again, know that when you do candle work, it really should have the intention of you owning the power. You can bring the intention. You can hold it and say, I really want to find peace in my heart, and put this intention into the candle. You can do your own candle work. You can light it. Again, when they tell you that they're reading the candle and for you to do the candle ritual over because there's too much smoke, they put herbs and oils in that candle. It will create the smoke. You don't have to do that to create a high vibration for your candle. You don't have to write the names in it. You don't have to do all these steps. That's just what they're told to do because the person, vibrations, it was a sluggish, more sluggish time frame in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We have a much more clear path. We have a lot more knowledge. Do your candle work. I hope everything that I said, anything you want to know, you can always send me a message. I love doing these kinds of things and I look forward to it. Next week we're going to probably be talking about some of the spiritual myths that could use a little tweaking because that's what I'm here for. Swanda is self-proclaimed wicked and nice diva of America, and the reason I'm here is not because I'm nice, it's because I'm going to tell you the truth and I'm going to help you become the best you can possibly be. My heart to all of yours. Mwah! Love everybody. Talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye now.